She called me a beta provider in front of her friends. She didn't know I was standing close enough to hear. Her voice carried through the kitchen, half slurred with wine, but sharp enough to cut. Please, he's just a beta provider, that's all. I get the house, the car, and my freedom. Laughter followed, her friends smirking behind their glasses, sipping at my wine. The sound was muffled, but the words, those I felt in my bones. I froze in the hallway, not because I was weak, not because I was surprised, but because everything in that instant went perfectly silent inside me. No rage, no trembling, just the click of something mechanical inside my chest. Provider. Beta. She had always chosen her words carefully in front of me, always sweet, always soft. Now I saw the truth unmasked in the company of those she trusted, a performance stripped bare. I stood there, unseen, watching her laugh at the man who paid for her security, watching her friends nod knowingly as if they'd all rehearsed this script before. And in that silence, I made my first decision. Not to confront, not to argue, not to reveal I'd heard. No, I would wait. I would watch, and when the time came, I would dismantle her world brick by brick. At first, I tried to tell myself it was just words, a careless slip, alcohol sharpening her tongue. But memory is cruel. It replayed those words every night when I lay beside her. Beta provider. I began to notice details, subtle but clear once my mind was tuned to betrayal. Her phone turned face down on the table. Late-night messages followed by that faint, guilty smile. The way she dressed differently when she went out with friends. I didn't confront her. Confrontation gives power to the guilty. They twist, they deflect, they gaslight. I stayed silent, watching, measuring. Even as she leaned in to kiss me goodnight, even as she asked me to cover another bill, I smiled back with practiced ease. She thought I was blind. But blindness has its advantages. It allows the deceiver to relax, to reveal more. And she did. I found the receipts, dinners she never mentioned, a hotel stay under a name I didn't recognize, small cracks in the mask. But I didn't rush, because betrayal, like rot, needs time to spread before it's fully exposed. I began the investigation quietly. First, her phone bill. The numbers repeated, late-night calls, long durations, always when she claimed she was with friends. Then, the car's mileage, trips that didn't match her stories. And finally, her social media, locked behind privacy but not beyond reach. Screenshots told a story of coded posts, inside jokes with someone who wasn't me. Each piece was a shard of glass in my hand. Painful, yes, but useful, because I was building a weapon. I ordered the property documents for our home. The deed was in my name alone. She had never bothered to notice. And in that moment, the path became clear. I wouldn't scream. I wouldn't throw things. I would strip away everything she thought she controlled. When she looked at me, she still saw a calm, dutiful husband, a provider, the very role she mocked. But beneath that surface, my thoughts were knives. I watched her prepare for another night out. Perfume, heels, the same script. She kissed my cheek, whispered, "Don't wait up." I didn't. Instead, I drafted the sale papers, and with each signature, I felt the quiet thrill of reclamation. The truth landed one evening in a thick white envelope. Phone records, photos, enough evidence to collapse the fragile stage she'd built. I left the envelope on the dining table. No words, no explanations, just silence and evidence. She came home late, saw it, froze. Her hands trembled as she pulled out the pictures, the receipts, the printed call logs. Her eyes darted to me, searching for anger, for an explosion. But I gave her nothing, just a cold, measured stare. "You," she whispered. I didn't answer. She tried again, louder this time, desperate. How long? I leaned back, folding my hands. Long enough. That was all. And it was enough. The silence pressed down on her harder than any scream could have. The next morning, she woke to emptiness. The closet's gutted, my belongings gone. And on the counter, another envelope. Inside, the signed sale agreement. The house had been sold. Proceeds wired to my account. Her name had never been on the deed. She staggered through the rooms, her face collapsing as the truth hit. No roof, no safety net, no provider. She called my phone, her voice breaking. You can't do this. Where am I supposed to go? I let her words hang. Then I answered, voice flat, precise. You called me a beta provider. Providers take care of those they value. You showed me what I am to you. So I adjusted. Her sobs on the other end were raw, ugly, but I felt nothing, because the moment of revenge wasn't in her suffering, it was in my silence. The power shift was complete. I didn't watch her leave. I didn't need to. The neighbors would see her, bags on the curb, calling friends who suddenly wouldn't answer. That humiliation was hers to carry. For me, there was only clarity. I had been blind, yes, but not weak. I had played my role so well, she forgot I was capable of writing the ending myself. People think revenge is fire, explosions, but real revenge is ice, silent, controlled, irreversible. As I drove away, I glanced once at the rearview mirror. The house stood behind me, stripped of meaning. So did she. I didn't smile, I didn't cry. I simply whispered to myself, never again. And I never looked back.